So we all get told how important it is to plan the right way, get the right business plan in place. Strategy is super important for everything we need to do. If you want to make your business grow, you've got to have the right plan, the right strategy, and then implement. Well, let me just show you right now how having a 3-month game plan right now is not going to actually be the best way for you to grow your business right now. So many years ago, Abraham Lincoln was quoted with that very famous saying of, if you gave me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 hours sharpening my axe. When you think about it, it's actually very sensible, and it's something that we all should pay more attention to, because the axe is actually a multiplier. No matter how strong the lumberjack is, ultimately at the end of the day, it will take a lot longer with a strong lumberjack operating with a blunt blade on the axe than what it will for a normal everyday lumberjack with a sharp axe. So the whole premise is getting the right plan in place and the right multiplier, such as the right strategy and the right marketing. All of those things are going to be what accelerates, gets more business momentum and growth moving forward. And that's the most important thing before just going out and throwing caution to the wind and putting anything forward regarding business growth. So that's a mentality around the famous saying from Abraham Lincoln. But let's have a bit of a deeper look at how doing that in like a 3-month window for your business is not going to be the best thing for you right now. Because let's face it, we work hard as business owners. We push hard. We try and do more than what we probably should. We always get told by Gary Vaynerchuk and others, we've got to hustle, we've got to hustle, we've got to do this, we've got to nose to the grindstone, we've got to burn the candle at both ends, etc. Well, I'm not saying that's not true, but you need to be able to switch on and work hard and work efficient and effective without actually killing yourself. You need to make sure that you're working in your genius mode. You need to make sure that when you're working hard, you're working efficiently and effectively, but you're not worried about the shiny objects. You're not getting distracted by all the small little job roles and tasks that someone else should be doing. Someone else working in their genius mode and not having you in your genius mode. And so what we actually find, and look, I've been seeing this in the health and medical industry for at least a decade now of helping so many people, literally a couple of thousand people, build their businesses. And each and every time, if you are to continue pushing and driving and hustling and doing more and adding more time onto your diary and just quickly this and that, multiple things actually happen. First of all, you start to lose faith in what you're doing. You start to not enjoy it. You start to feel run down. We start to find that our health suffers. We start to realize that we might get a bit more snappy in our relationships with our spouse or our kids. We might give up our sport. We might do less of our own activity. Our mental health starts to suffer. All of those things, we're sitting there listening to this right now thinking, well, that's a given. Yep, I know that. But here's the thing. Right now, you might know that or say that you know that, but yet you're still allowing that to occur. So right now, the model of which you're working with is doing 3-month plans or 6-month plans, etc., is fundamentally broken because we're not in the optimal health and lifestyle and mental health space and physical capacity, etc. So in that situation, we're actually creating a scenario where we're doomed to fail in the medium and longer term. Also think about it this way. The longer that goes on, the longer you hustle, the less you start to actually celebrate your wins. So it's not an avenue of delayed gratification. It's actually a fact of what else. And when you do something that should be celebrated, or you should pat yourself on the back for, you actually don't even stop to give yourself the credit, to acknowledge the great work you and the team have actually done, or the impact that you've actually had. And that becomes a very slippery slope because it heightens your distaste for what you're doing. It makes you start to not enjoy things. And all of a sudden, you start getting more disillusioned about what you're doing, where you're going, and so many people have left our amazing industry as a net result of getting disillusioned because of factors just like that. The biggest thing, though, out of all of that is the fact that when you continue to push and push and push, you get tired and you turn a sprint into a marathon. Now, let's be completely honest. Running marathons suck, right? I've had to do multiple of them. I've done Australian Ironman multiple times. I've done world championships for triathlon, long course championships and all sorts of stuff, right? I've done that for many, many years. I've got a lot of miles in my legs for swimming, riding, running. Hate the running part most of all. Coming from an Australian swimming background, running's the worst part. But here's the thing. No one fundamentally loves marathons. They're hard work. It hurts. It's hard to keep pushing. And you don't actually enjoy it. You might enjoy the medal, the accolades, celebration at the end, the feeling of accomplishment, etc. But you never actually enjoy the marathon as a whole. Sprinting, in other aspects, is a lot more fun, right? This isn't about being the Usain Bolt, but it's about the fact that anyone can run 100 meters and sprint 100 meters reasonably fast. Granted, someone on 15 seconds isn't as fast as 9.8 seconds, but that's not the point. 15 seconds is still quite good for a 100-meter sprint. It's horses for courses, comparing apples and oranges. Here's what the thing about it is. When you push hard and you push a big project or a big multiple tasks, something's going to take, 6 or 8 weeks, or you need to open a new clinic, bring on a new team member, go through the recruiting process of 2 new team members and onboarding, or you're putting out some big new project or service, or you're expanding your clinical services. Any of those things take time. All of those things take a lot of energy. And as a net result, what fundamentally you feel and perceive is something that's reasonably easy to do will always take 2 or 3 times as long and will actually be a lot more of a drain on you than what you originally thought. And that's the way it always is. It's like technology. There's a saying in the IT industry that no matter what you think about how long it's going to take and how much it's going to cost, you double the length of time and you triple the cost it's going to be. And for someone who's done some pretty big 6- and 7-figure build-outs of IT and programs and that overseas, I can tell you that holds true every single time. So we want to be able to sprint because when we sprint, we can put more energy, more time, more vigor, get more momentum, get more people to come along with the journey and get more benefit in a shorter period of time. We can be more efficient, more effective, get in, make this happen. And then we need to be able to sit back and relax. We need to be able to breathe. We need to be able to just switch off. When we push and drive new things as well, we also break things. We need to change systems. We need to modify this. We need to completely overhaul our default diary. There's loads of avenues of things that will break or start to crack and crumble that we need to consolidate on before we can then move forward. So there's no use trying to turn a 3-month window of your business into this huge growth phase because it doesn't work like that. If you've got a 3-month business plan in place of I'm going to do these tasks and this and this and this, and you haven't factored in downtime weeks where you might sprint for 2 weeks and then have a down week, then you're ultimately setting yourself up for failure. I can honestly say I've never seen anyone push 12 weeks super hard and make every post a winner without being sick, losing track of where they're going, dropping the ball, annoying people, not having the optimal outcome, etc. It doesn't happen and it won't happen because fundamentally we in our health and medical businesses can't just continually sprint for 12 weeks without shit breaking, without normally us or people around us that are closest to us getting in a situation where fundamentally there's more negatives than what there were positives. So if you're in a situation right now where you're working off quarterly game plans, 12-week game plans, you got to do this, you got to do that quarter by quarter, then can I ask you right now to please stop it? Pull it back to like 4 or 6 week cycles maximum. We do have quarterly game plans with our clients. We do it all the time, but we actually have half-time intensive. So we're working off 6-week cycles. We like to say it's working shorters, not quarters. It means you can sprint, you can push hard for 2 weeks, have 2 sprint weeks, work on 2 or 3 big tasks, projects. If you've got a bigger team, you can work with individual managers or team members to micromanage some of those other projects, and you can push hard for like 2 weeks. But then you can also step back a little bit, have a bit of a break, do some less hours, realign, consolidate, fix any things that are starting to crack or break, and then you're ready to go again. It's like those times where you just need to switch off and you need to go away for a 3 or 4 day weekend. Rather than having to get to complete burnout and have that occur, it means you're actually managing the situation much better. It shows that you're a better manager. It shows you're a better leader, that you can actually program these things in so that you know when to sprint and you know when to rest. You know when to push hard and push the team hard for a short period of time, but you know your limit to actually be able to make sure that you stay healthy, you stay happy, those people around you in your team, your family and your friends, everyone's in alignment together and you're not burning the candle at both ends. You're not pulling back from the great work that you're doing. So here's the thing. Think shorters, not quarters. Don't work off 12-week business plans, 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, because too many things are going to happen and you can't keep pushing. There's no use just sprinting because it becomes a marathon and marathons suck. So here's the thing, guys. Think shorters, not quarters. Keep it to the sprint and recover. Sprint and recover. So much more fun, so much more beneficial. Higher level intensity, higher level of engagement, higher level of motivation. You're going to get better results and you're going to have a lot more momentum, a lot better business growth and scale and more growth potential by thinking shorters and not quarters. I'll talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.